Hey, I found an article actually yesterday on Hacker News by Michael Natkin. It's about strong opinions and why, that's what he's saying, why it's so unproductive to let people have strong opinions in a software team and let them lose those opinions easily. So he's saying that it's a very typical situation when you walk into the room of software developers and you can hear phrases and claims. They are saying that only an idiot would use MongoDB in this case, or we should absolutely build this using Golang only, and so and so. So he's making examples, and then he's saying that those opinions can easily be abandoned by the people who were fighting for them initially, the moment they understand that they were wrong. And he thinks that this is not a good idea, because in that situation in a team, the loudest person always wins. Because the louder you scream about your idea, the stronger you are, the older you stay in the team, then the easier for you is to actually push everybody back and convince them, or just shut them up and make sure that your idea dominates. And as an opposite to this formula, he's suggesting that software engineers should be less convinced, less sure about what they say, and he's even suggesting to embed certain words in their phrases, like instead of saying like I'm 100% sure that we need to use this and that, we have to say I'm 90% sure that we have to use this and that, or I'm 50-50 on this and that, I'm not sure. So he's suggesting that when we are discussing the architecture or some technical problems, we have to be less sure about what we think and be more skeptical about our own opinions. And that will help us in the end produce more balanced results or something like that. And I completely disagree with that. That's why I'm recording this video as an answer to the article. I definitely understand the problem. Of course, it's not good when the team of developers actually is listening to the loudest person in the team. And of course, if that loudest person is wrong and the opinion is just strongly held just for the sake of holding their opinion, then of course the end result will be not the perfect, not the ideal one, because obviously we're going to listen to the loudest person and nothing will work. But I disagree with the solution. I don't think that just shutting everybody down and lowering the voice of everybody will actually help us find a better result. That's a compromise, which is never a good solution. Instead, we should do something else. We should think about why the loudest person in the team wins. And the answer is that because we don't have rules of resolving a conflict. The only rule we have is let's be democratic and let's decide together. And of course, in a technical dispute, that's not a good approach. It's the approach which will lead to the scenario, to the result which is described in this article. We're going to be just loud, and the one who's got the biggest respect in the team will win, no matter how correct is the opinion that person is holding right now. Instead, we need to have a formula for resolving disputes, technical disputes, and everybody should know that formula and follow that formula. And no matter how loud you are, we're still going to go through the procedure of making the technical decision. And the simplest procedure, the easiest formula, is to have an architect in the team. I suggested that multiple times. Just assign an architect. Make sure one person is the architect who makes the final decision. And in that case, it's not going to matter who is the loudest person. If I'm the architect and I have 5 people, one is loud, one is quiet, I don't care. I'm going to listen to all of them because I need to know who is right. And nobody is able to scream at me because it's not going to help. I'm the architect. I'm formally assigned to make the final decision. And for me, it doesn't matter who is the loudest because I make the final sign off on the technical decision. So I will listen to everybody and I will put all the ideas together and then I will make a decision. And in that case, I want them to be loud. I want them to be 100% sure of what they're saying. I don't want that person to tell me that I'm more or less sure, I'm not sure, maybe. And that one saying, I'm not sure, maybe. What do I do with these 2 maybes? I want one person to say, MongoDB, that's the way to go. Another one saying, MySQL is the way to go. And I want them strongly defend their opinions. In that case, I can compare and make the final decision, not a compromise between these 2 options. Because as you know, technically, the compromise is always a bad idea. I even dedicated an entire section in my latest book, Code Ahead, for the conflict resolution. I said there that if you resolve conflicts through compromises, through listening to everybody and making everybody happy, then you're going to find a solution which doesn't satisfy anyone and is not technically perfect at all. You need to take sides when you make technical decisions. You need to hear everybody and then say, you are wrong and you are right. And then you take that side. Not personally. I don't care who you are, guys, personally. I love you all. But this technical idea is right and that technical idea is wrong. But if you don't try to convince me, if you don't hold your opinion strongly, then how am I going to make the final decision? It's going to be difficult for me. So this article is completely wrong. It perfectly describes the problem, but the solution it suggests is absolutely not suitable for a professional software team. Don't do that. Let people strongly defend their opinions and they be loud in the office, but at the same time have a procedure which will take that situation under control. And the best procedure is assign a software architect, a formally assigned person who makes all the final technical decisions, no matter who is loud and who is quiet. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.